I read a lot of manga this month. So before we start, I know I'm gonna get the one person who's gonna be like, look, how in the world are you reading so much in a month? I got really lucky. Obviously, I was off from break from the university, and also I read every day. I read every day, and I do not speed read through these. I take my time with it. With a smaller volume like Ajin, this will take me usually about 45 minutes to get through. The thicker volumes, like Satoshi Kon Opus, it took me a couple days. A standard volume like Sweat and Soap, that would take me something around maybe an hour and a half. And the light novels, I usually try to read half of it in one day and half the next day. So that's kind of the breakdown of the timing of my reads. So we're going to start from the back of the month and work our way to the front of the month. So I read yesterday Ajin Volume 3. This was an interesting volume. It kind of slowed down from the first two volumes, but it was good. We got to see a little bit more into the development of our main protagonist and kind of the emotional kind of aspect to him. And so yeah, it was a good read. I'm still very much enjoying the series. You got these demi-humans, and it's a really interesting premise. The demi-humans versus the real people. So yeah, it was a great read. I'm excited to keep reading it. This will be my main series for the month of February. Next up is Grand Blue Dreaming Volume 1. I read the first volume and I picked up the rest on Right Stuff with a coupon because I just couldn't wait. This is such a great first volume. This is basically about a boy who goes and he's starting college at this university, and he joins the diving club. And he gets into all these shenanigans. He's basically like that frat boy in the frat club, basically. And so this first volume just brought back a lot of memories of college and the silly, stupid things I did in college. So it was fun. It's a good read. A lot of face gags, very good humor. I enjoyed it a lot. So yeah, I'm excited to keep going with this. Next up is My Youth Romantic Comedy, As Wrong as I Expected. We got novel 6. And the light novel 6.5, and I know this one's pretty infamous for being really, really big, but just know that the last chapter or the last section of it is supposed to be read after you read volume 9, so I'm going to be waiting on this. This is just an interesting series. It's about these people in a service club, and they help out people in the school when they ask them for help, and so they just help people with a wide variety of scenarios. Very dialogue driven. I think that this does well, better animated, to be honest with you, just because some of the scenes just can get kind of slow. And 6 was pretty good in keeping the pacing up, but 6.5 just kind of seemed like a drag. So I'll be interested to see how this series moves forward. I'm continuing to read it. I enjoy it. I'm not saying I don't enjoy it. It just sometimes it just gets a little bit slow. So next up is Sweat and Soap. This is Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, and Volume 5. I've talked about this series several times on my channel, and I will leave a card up at the top corner for my review on this. I just really enjoyed it. So yeah, it was a great read. But next up is Seraphim. This is by Satoshi Kon, and the artwork was done by Mamori Oshii, or they both basically co-wrote this thing together. Mamori Oshii did Ghost in the Shell. And this is an interesting manga. It's very cool. It's basically a post-apocalyptic type of story where there was this huge disease that ravaged the land, and you've got these people who are trying to figure out how to create a vaccine, basically, to the disease as it's still going through the world. And this was interesting. I think, the problem with this is that it's unfinished. And also, Opus is unfinished, but this is even more unfinished. It leaves off on a huge cliffhanger, and so I enjoyed the story and the build-up to it. I just wish that there was an ending. It was very interesting, though. I really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, I thought this was very interesting. If you are looking to get into Satoshi Kon stuff, definitely check this one out. You won't regret it. So next up is One Piece. I read the Baroque Works arc. I'm not done with it yet. I got one more volume and it's gonna wrap it up. This is volume 12, volume 13. I love these covers. They're so colorful and they do a good job of, after reading the volume, you can really see how the cover is really influenced by what's going on in the volume. Volume 15, volume 16, volume 17. As I go through these, I'll go ahead and start talking about it. I love this arc. It's really interesting. I think it's better than the first one. It's just great. It goes into, so they're on the Grand Line, and the first islands they visit are all influenced by this organization called Baroque Works, and it's just so interesting to see Oda write all these different and such contrasting storylines, and the battles are just super fresh, and they, even 21 volumes in, they don't feel old. So yeah, I'm super excited to finish this. Hopefully in the next week, finish that last volume, and then I'll probably just take a break from One Piece for probably about a month or two before I start the next box set. So next up is My Life. I Sold My Life for 10,000 yen, also known as 3 Days of Happiness. This is volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3. I binged all 3 of these volumes in one day. As you can see, these are the self prints. I'll go back to volume 1 so I don't do any spoilers. These are the self prints, and so the text is definitely an interesting text choice, but it's all the original art. This is obviously not released in official release in English. We have the official light novel release, but this was a great romance story. The supernatural aspect of it is just so unique, and it's very interesting to see. Basically, there's just 2 arcs in this story, and both arcs were just so well done, so concise. You've got our main character who decides to sell his life, the remaining years of his life, and so he's only got basically 30 days to live. And then you have this girl who's supposed to watch over him so he doesn't do anything stupid, and it was just so enjoyable to see what the human psyche is with, if you've got 1 month to live and you know what it is. And so it's a great journey of growth and romance, and the story ends super well. I can totally tell why this is a masterpiece for many people. Next up is Blood on the Tracks by Shuzo Ishimi, volumes 2 and 3. These were fantastic volumes. Every volume just gets more and more messed up. I just can't wait to keep seeing what happens with the mom. She's just absolutely crazy, and will you forgive your, it's just terrifying. So if you're not reading this series right now, I highly recommend it. Every volume you finish it and you're like, I just want to read more. So yeah, it's definitely one of my most anticipated releases every couple months. Next up is Satoshi Kon's Opus. This is a 2-in-1, and so this story is about a mangaka who is wrapping up the conclusion of his series, and he gets thrown into his manga, and he's going through this journey with his characters, trying to basically finish the story, as it were. And it's just super weird, super trippy. The artwork is fantastic, as you can see. The storyline is super concise and very out there, but really interesting. And the characters are super unique as well. The mangaka's story that he's written is super cool. So yeah, you definitely will get hooked into it. So yeah, Satoshi Kon's Opus, definitely one of those one-shots that should be in your collection just for some quick reading. So a lot of these volumes are stuff that I've talked about in previous videos, so I'm just going to kind of breeze through them. Laid Back Camp, Volume 4, Volume 5, and Volume 6. This was this series continues to impress me. I love the camping aspect. I really love the food aspect, and it's just super informative. The artwork is great. It's very clean and it's very detailed, and all the characters are really awesome as well. So yeah, Laid Back Camp 4, 5, and 6, just a great read. Clockwork Apple by Osamu Tezuka. This is a short story compilation. I did a review on this that I will leave a little card in the upper right hand corner for you to check out. This is a great read. If you're looking to get into Osamu Tezuka, you want something a little bit less unknown like Buddha or Message to Adolf or Astro Boy, this is a great one to grab. It's super cheap, super fast. So got Quintessential Quintuplets, volume 11. We've got 3 more volumes. This is starting to pick up really well. This volume was great because it really dives into the backstory of one of the characters, and you're like, whoa, like now things are starting to really pick up. So this was a great read. I can't wait to see how this finishes. Golden Kamuy, or Kamuy, 18 and 19. This puts me up to date with the series, so now I'm going to be waiting for the physicals as they release. This, as always, one of my favorite seinen series of all time. Perfect blend of comedy, food, history, action. Every chapter gives you something and more, and it's not boring at all. Really, there's no filler chapters at all. He does a great job. Noda does a great job of putting variety in each volume, and it makes you just always entertained. So yeah, Golden Kamuy. Junji Ito's Cat Diary, Yon and Mu. For people who collect Junji Ito, I actually don't see this in their collections, which is weird because it is a Junji Ito work, and this is basically about his journey with his cats as he moves into his new house. And it's hilarious. It's so cute, so relatable to me as a cat person. I absolutely loved it. I will definitely be keeping this in my collection and rereading this like once or twice a year just to get a quick laugh. Easy read, like super thin. I'd say you can finish this in about 30 minutes. So yeah. Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. This is volume 6. This series continues to impress me with the great storytelling of Japanese supernatural stuff. And we've got our main character, Hanako-kun, and Neni, or Nena, I can't remember her exact name. And basically it's about her, and she does something at the beginning of the first volume, and she needs his help to like basically not like disappear. And so she pledges her life to this ghost, and they're basically going around trying to stop the 7 supernaturals of the school, just basically trying to control them and not go crazy to all the students. So yeah, this is a great read. I love the artwork. Some of my favorite artwork, to be honest with you, in manga. It's just so unique, so detailed. You can tell that there's a lot of passion behind it. So yeah, I really love this story. Definitely recommend picking this up. Maruko-chan Volume 1. I did a review on this on my Should You Read Sunday. This is like the first review I ever did, so I'll leave a little card in the upper right hand corner. This is great if you like girls that are going in high school and they're doing everyday things, and then you've got the Tokyo Ghoul-esque horror dimension in it. This is going to be one for you. It's really funny, kind of risque, a lot of tropey type of stuff going on in here, a lot of fan service, but yeah, it was still very good. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the second volume. And last but not least, Komi Can't Communicate, volumes 9 and volumes 10. Volume 10 did a great job as they changed a lot of things up. They introduced some new things, and so this Volume 10 definitely keeps it fresh. Before then, volumes 5 to 9, it was just kind of the same old thing, which is why a lot of people dropped it. So hopefully with this kind of turn in volume 10, we can see definitely some more interesting things going on. So yeah, as you can see, it's a 4-koma. But it's very well done. The chapters blend together very well, even though it is a 4-koma, so it doesn't feel very disjunct at all. The artwork's great. I love the way that they do Komi with her eyes and everything like that. It's a very humorous situation. So yeah, Komi Can't Communicate Volume 10. I am up to date with this, and I'm just waiting for the releases every couple months. Well, as you can see, it was such a great month for reading. Such diverse, interesting series. Some not so great, but most of them were absolutely phenomenal. I love reading. I love reading every day. It's one of my favorite things to do. Can't wait for next month. So with that being said, my name is Profitaku. If you enjoyed the content of this video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and tap that notification bell so that you know when more of my videos are released. And with that being said, I will see you in the next video. Take care now. Bye-bye. I will see you in the next video. Take care now. Jax!